a live-related transplant have the best outcomes. Cadaver transplants have a very long waiting time. How about asking someone who has gone through this whole process how he felt as he undertook this journey? अभी एक ट्रांसप्लांट रेसिपिएंट जो है जिसको ट्रांसप्लांट हुआ है वो हमसे आके बात करने वाले हैं. Madhur Deep was diagnosed with kidney disease in September 2009 and was on hemodialysis for about 10 months, after which he underwent a renal transplant in July 2010. His mother was the donor. Madhur Deep works full-time as a strategic operations consultant at Deloitte & Touche in Hyderabad and has been with this company since June 2009. Friends, please welcome Madhur Deep.
So I was diagnosed with kidney failure by Dr. Shomshekhar on September 1st, 2009, and it came like a shock to me, and for 2 days I was really sad, and then I thought, let's figure out how to beat it. And then dialysis was really not that bad. I was working full time, and eventually, slowly I had some problems. But over the period of time, we were first thinking like, let's figure out a way to beat this through alternative therapies. And trust me, I have tried like everything available. I've tried Ayurveda, I have tried pranayam, I have tried yoga, I have tried Chinese herbal medication, I have tried homeopathy, I have tried Unani medication, I have tried everything. For 3-4 months, we were just trying to see what allopathy is saying is not true and if we can figure it out. But trust me, nothing worked at all, not even a little bit. Maybe they are good in some other cases, but didn't really work out for me. So I think dialysis, you are all are aware. Let me focus more on search for kidney and transplantation journey. So my parents were earlier not approved for donating kidney for their own personal health, and I was on dialysis and things were not really working out after 5-6 months, and we got really desperate, and we also looked for every other option, cadaver and maybe registered in Mohan Foundation, looked for even kidney outside, and seriously it's not really that good thing because if it's a related kidney, it works very well. And then by the grace of God, eventually my mother got approved as a donor, and on July 16th I had the transplantation surgery. But before that, I also had nephrectomy because my blood pressure was very high, and Dr. Saria, who was my transplant surgeon, told that my kidneys should be taken out. So first I had a surgery where both my kidneys were taken out. That is surgery equivalent to having 2 donations, so as good as donating 2 kidneys, both of mine, and then I had transplant surgery. So so this was very high blood pressure. So my blood pressure on the day the kidney failure was diagnosed was close to 220 by 160, and during dialysis sometimes it reached as high as 250 by 170. So as a result of that, I had to go through nephrectomy, and trust me, it's very painful, and they don't give you any painkiller after the surgery because you don't have kidneys. But more interesting and with thrills and ups and downs is the transplant journey. So before the night before transplant journey, I had a session with the scary, from kidney being rejected, from some nerves being collapsed, from something damaged, from diabetes, everything scary was there on the list. I was scared and I thought, why didn't you tell me before? I mean, I would have not gone nephrectomy. Dialysis was still better. And I was scared and I thought, let's just hope that everything turns out better. I went for surgery. I think it was like 3-hour long surgery, and then I was in OT for like 6 hours. I woke up next day morning in really terrible state. I had oxygen mask on my face. I was on some weird bed they calling and wishing won't happen. 4th day morning rejection episode happened. And nobody told me, but I could figure out. I mean, my doctor used to visit me once in a day. Other doctors used to visit me once in a day. And that day, the busiest doctor was coming 3 times. The other doctor was coming like 7-8 times and checking me again and again. So I figured out maybe something is wrong from their expression, but they didn't tell me. And my creatinine and other parameters were being monitored every day. And I was asking the nurse, I just made them friends and I was asking them everything. So daily they were telling me the nephrectomy, between nephrectomy and transplant, it was changing, but it was not that high. And after transplant, one night it came down from 10 to straight away 3.5. The next day, 2.3 and 2.2. So the fourth day I was asking this nurse, I was thinking now 2.2, 2.3, now it must have come down below 2. So this junior nurse, she said, okay, I'll come and I'll find out. She comes back and tells me it's 1.7. I was like, very happy, okay, fine, it's going down. But I still started a treatment with heavy steroids, immunosuppressants and other things. And steroids are really bad because they really screw you in many ways. And high dosages, really bad. But thankfully, things started to get better. After 3-4 days of this medication, creatinine came down. The rejection episode was handled well. But still, my creatinine used to hang around like 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. And I was worried, I was very anxious. And because of the side effects, they give you very heavy medication initially to bring down your immunity because otherwise the immunity will attack the transplanted kidney. So as a result of that, you are prone to any kind of illness, especially in the beginning because the immunity is very low. So one has to wear mask. All the other ways to kind of safeguard yourself. Also then after to the hospital every alternate day after discharge to check my parameters, and the hemoglobin started coming down from 9 to 8 as low as 5.3, 5.4. And we were really worried then, and I was really dead by then because if hemoglobin reaches 5 and all, you can't even walk. I was like lying, it is very bad. And it came to a situation where I had to decide for transfusion, and they were considering that. It coming up again. It was around 7, 8 for some time, and then the situation was there for another month like that. And they were trying everything. Things seemed dialysis. The major challenge is how to have diet and how to keep yourself in a position where you feel kind of healthy. After transplant, the biggest challenge is that because of those medications, your immunity is low. And you're very prone to any kind of illness. So how to beat all those things? So to keep yourself healthy, always use a mask and hand sanitizer often after shaking a hand, or avoid shaking hands with anybody. Avoid being close to people who can have any kind of infection. No outside food as much as possible. Home food, that too also freshly prepared, no food which has been kept. Then if you have done that, not touching your hand or mouth, because your hands have a lot of germs and infections, and then they pass on this to your nose and mouth and your body gets it all. Then the next question comes, okay, now I'm not getting ill, but how do I start living? How do I go out? How do I go to work? How do I meet friends? So in that case, if you go out, don't eat food outside. Maybe what I did, I still had juice, outside juice, because it was the same juice which I was having at home. So I did that. And then eat before you leave. Carry this totally fine. And it is not really baked or something. So once I figured this out, I was like, say, now I can do anything. And I traveled recently to Singapore on my own. I ate all this stuff, stayed at my friend's place, but since he was working, didn't bother him, and I just traveled all across, came back, no problem, got myself tested. Then another problem comes with, trust me, it is pretty good. And you obviously have to take care of yourself, because anytime you can have a rejection episode, or if you don't take care, it can really go bad. But trust me, if you take care of yourself, it is really good. It's really a nice experience after dialysis to come back and to feel really much better. That's it.
Thanks. Thanks so much, Madhur Deep. I would request Dr. Somshekhar to please hand over this memento to Madhur Deep. Thanks so much, Madhur Deep, for the talk.